Delivery management extends the m-hance footprint into the arena of delivery execution for those organisations who are either running their own distribution operations and their own trucks, or who are having a dedicated third-party operation which is running on their behalf. So, in terms of the key components of delivery management, what do they encompass? The most obvious one is proof of delivery. The fact that you're giving the driver a device, a mobile device which is operating in real time, which can tell the driver what to do, where to go, what orders to be delivered, in what sequence. When the driver's there, he's often using barcode scanning to confirm exactly what's been delivered, what's been collected, what assets are involved in that, and whether there are any returns or not. So the process of real-time data is driven through a mobile device. But a lot of the value is in the back office systems around that. Sign-on glass is only one component of having a truly functional delivery management system which gives you an ROI on your operation. Route compliance is taking the location of the device, taking the fact that when the driver confirms he's arrived and departed, and making sure that drivers are adhering to the plan that you've put out there. So you're not just making sure you're meeting the customer service levels, but you're also making sure that you're executing your distribution operation to least cost. The system provides an executive dashboard where the organisation can either show internally or to your end customer user-definable KPIs. So these are KPIs either you're promising your customer, which you can show them in real time, or you as an organisation can be examining, looking at from director level down to operations level, and drilling down, looking at the exceptions, understanding today what's going wrong, why it's going wrong, and how you can amend that. We also can provide a portal facility whereby organisations' customers who currently have a web presence they log into to do order taking or to order product, they can see in that system as well what deliveries have been made, what was on those deliveries, so you've got a self-service proof of delivery capability, as well as knowing what deliveries are to be made tomorrow or in the forthcoming days. So you can start to take a lot of the process out of customer service or planning teams having to take calls from your customers. The customers are self-serving their information through that web presence. If I look at how that impacts on the GP application with respect to a process flow, the first element that the delivery management system can look at is making sure that if you're putting routes into the system, planned routes either from a spreadsheet or from a planner doing them manually, or from a routing and scheduling system, it's understanding based on what that route says and what the warehouse are being picked, whether those routes are feasible or not. It can also provide prediction in terms of when those vehicles will arrive at the individual customers, both prior to the vehicle leaving the depot and when the vehicle's on the road. In terms of route compliance, I mentioned earlier, these have tracking capabilities on them which are being taken back into delivery management, compared against the plan, so in real time the organisation can be told whether drivers are operating to the plan or not. And probably more usefully, once the drivers come back at the end of the day, there's an automated debrief process which says which drivers have done a good or bad job, and there's also a driver league table capability. So you can see over time which drivers are or aren't adhering to the instructions that you're giving them. I already mentioned proof of delivery or sign-on glass, where we're monitoring arrival time at customer, depart time at customer, what was delivered versus what was ordered and what was dispatched, what wasn't delivered, exceptions, taking photographs of damages, and also managing the assets around that, so we can record how many assets are being delivered and how many are being collected, so we can provide a net asset balance at the end of the month. We can provide that portal so organisations can go into their web presence and understand what's being delivered tomorrow, or provide self-service on proof of deliveries that have already taken place, and we have a dashboard facility which I mentioned previously. What I'll do to finish is go through two case studies which start to put some meat on the bone of where delivery management actually drives value and an ROI from the business. The first organisation I want to talk about is Palmer & Harvey. Palmer & Harvey deliver tobacco alcohol products and foodstuffs to convenience stores such as Nicer and Mace. They compete on two elements. One is price. They are one of the other distribution channels, the cheapest source of the product, and secondly on service. So service to them is critical. When Palmer and Harvey put the application in, their prime initial driver was proof of delivery, so they knew accurately what they were delivering and were they delivering to their customer time windows. But what is most important to them has been the fact that while they have a routing and scheduling system they've been using for a number of years, when we first put the application in, the drivers were only complying to the route to around about 65%. So that was a lot of additional miles, a lot of additional time being incurred because the drivers were doing the routes in the sequence they wanted to, rather than the sequence they were being told, and also putting a lot of the customer time windows in jeopardy. Now, in implementing the system and giving the Palmer and Harvey a dashboard up to director level so the directors can see at a higher level whether each depot is adhering to the routes each day and which drivers aren't adhering to routes, Palmer and Harvey have already got their application up past the 85% level, and that's still rising. And that's a significant cost saving in terms of vehicle running costs and driver running costs. And at the same time, it's looking to maximise the impact on customers having their time windows hit. So one of the key criteria they compete on being maximised. The other organisation I'd like to mention briefly is JD Sports. JD Sports are a well-known high street retailer. Their product is highly nickable. When the vehicles go out the door, they're not allowed to unload or deliver at any customer unless the store manager or deputy store manager is with the vehicle and his barcode is scanned. There's a high level of security with JD, as well as the ability for them to understand what has been delivered to each store, so they're starting to far more accurately manage store receipt and an understanding of store stock levels, which was never undertaken before. So from the JD perspective, since they've put this solution in, they have not lost a case within their business. So that's a testament to the accuracy of what proof of delivery can give you. The final case study is Canute. Canute are a third-party logistics operation. Canute are implementing proof of delivery as a value-add service to their customers. So this is helping them maximise their service level to the customers. But what they're also doing is, because this provides single point visibility, they're starting to offer customers a shared environment. So rather than running dedicated trucks, because they have visibility of all trucks at all times, they can start to offer a shared environment which is lower cost to the user and also gives far better utilisation of their own fleets. So proof of delivery is valuable to them. It's providing the service level, but it's the visibility component that's letting them drive cost out of their business and drive up the efficiency within it. So at this point, hopefully I've given you some food for thought, and I'll hand back to Keith, who can review some more benefits within the delivery management piece.
Thank you, Anthony. So, what benefits will it give us? Well, if we just look at the route compliance aspect of this, if we're able to review our routes, ensure that we're making the correct deliveries to the correct customers, allocating the appropriate amount of time for each stop, but most importantly, making sure that the driver adheres to the route he's been instructed to do, then we will start to see reductions in mileage, fuel usage, time, overtime, and we're looking at cost savings per vehicle per year of the scale that's indicated. Rather than have customers ring in saying, "Where's my delivery?" it's far better for us to be more proactive and either email or SMS the customer in advance of receipt of his delivery to say it's on its way, or even better, allow the customer to access a portal so they can view the progress of their own deliveries in real time. That then removes the stress and strain on our own customer services department and frees up their time and gives us a much better service to our customers. Proof of delivery, much more easy thing to understand. We're now no longer waiting for a driver to come back at the end of the day with a pile of annotated delivery notes which someone has to decipher and try and generate an accurate invoice from. Now we're going to get invoice billings which will be transmitted directly based on scanned products, put with the customer there and then, transmitted back. We get an accurate invoice. And again, if we are tracking roll cages or kegs, we'll be able to actually track those within each customer outlet. And lastly, the dashboard gives us the ability to view the operation as a whole. We can have a dashboard which is traffic lighted, green, amber, red, the red indicating problems that we need to be tackling. And these are KPIs that you design yourself, but typically there'll be things like routes that are late, customer stops that have been missed or delivered out of sequence, shortages, possibly vehicles where the mileage is actually in excess of an allowed tolerance. But it allows us to view that and actually make some decisive decisions there and then at that appropriate time. And over time we can view performance and we can learn, we can make some informed decisions, and we can change business and we can change driver behaviour, and that will change the business for the better. We have a white paper on this subject. You can also download it from the collateral tab on the m-hance website. I'd like to thank you for attending this session. Thank you for coming.